It's interesting where inspiration comes from. With this project, actually, it started with a neck. I was looking around I'd had this idea for a little while of having a go at doing a headless base. And a neck came up on eBay of all places of just, this is an Ibanez headless base neck. Let me just pull that over here a little. Headless base neck from an EHB 1505. So that's 1505S. So that's a short scale, 30-inch scale, 5-string headless base neck. And I've got to say, it's immaculate. It's really, really nicely done. I mean, the 15 series is fairly sort of high. It'll be refinished, obviously, but I've got to be honest, it's looking pretty immaculate. Those frets look completely unused. I mean, I'll polish them, but if they're flat, I don't think it'll need a great deal of fretwork. It's and I will worry whether or not actually I've gained much by polishing them, really. There we go. Yes, EHB 1505S neck. Now, it's in this lovely Wenger and Purple Heart kind of laminate, kind of 9-piece laminate there. And actually, kind of from having picked this up, I was thinking I need to make something really kind of nice that kind of plays on that and works with it. So I got, in an appropriate length, some Wenger and some Purple Heart, and actually started looking at how to put that together. And I think kind of the body, actually having a laminate of this down the middle of it, will pick up those colours quite nicely from the neck and actually look quite good. Having said that, I don't necessarily want that to be the kind of the only colours within the project. So I was then looking around for what else to use as a guitar top. And actually, interestingly, this came along quite reasonably priced, and this is quite a stunning kind of Oregon maple, I think it is. Oh, which way round is it? Let me just match that up. That doesn't match up, so it's probably that way round. Right. Not sure, because I'm looking on the wrong side of it, I think. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. Now, this interestingly was quite reasonably priced because it's relatively narrow. It's narrower than a normal guitar body. I think it was 285mm in total. But that works really well if I want to run something down the middle that's not only visible from the back but visible from the front. I had some sapele that I kind of wanted to make, use for a body. And I think I'm going to just use a layer in between the two to kind of make this stand out more. Either in something quite pale or something quite dark. The obvious thing to do would be to use some more Wenger, or Panga, it seems to be called more in the guitar making world. Interesting the way kind of, language varies there depending on context. Anyway, and whether I'm going to leave that just natural with a light stain on it, I'm not sure. It's just stunning though. So that kind of spalted top is really nicely figured. And as I say, I think at the point where that's actually kind of either side of that kind of core neck, I'll plane that down a little bit more, but I think I'm going to keep it fairly thick. I was wondering about doing more laminates of thinner, but actually I think that's overdoing it. We've already got that look in the neck, and actually then I think we've got something really nice. So I'm going to get on with preparing and gluing those bits together. As I say, I still need to figure out what I'm going to do in terms of a layer in between the sapele and the maple. Then I kind of need to decide exactly what body shape I'm going to use. I've kind of experimented with a few. I quite like Ibanez's Iceman bass look, but kind of reversed so that the longer horn is on the top, which I believe they did in a guitar at one point. But varying around with that, I don't. The angled back of it, I'm not sure will work as well for a headless bass, because I'm going to need to think about where that sits as far as the tuners go, and having access to turn the tuners, tuners are on their way, and I've ordered a few bits for this project now. But yeah, so that's where we're at. Need a new nut. And actually the string holders here are interesting. You can get them from Ibanez, but I kind of fancy doing something just a little bit different. I need to look at what my options are, though, to see if that's going to work or if it'd be easier to just get the original Ibanez ones. I don't want it to look exactly the same, though. So anyway, so yeah, there we go. Really interesting neck. It's a 5-string, which I've got to say, my experience with trying to play or get used to a 5-string in a long scale basis, which is what most of them are, I just found really difficult. So I'll probably talk about this when I talk about the project, actually. One of my previous guitars, which is a multi-scale one, actually I ended up stringing B, E, A, D, because actually there are songs where actually you use all 5 strings. Actually, a lot of them where you're using that low B string, actually you don't go as high as kind of needing the G string anyway. So, you know, yeah. There we are. Step 1. I guess step 2 will be when I'm gluing it all together. So, yeah.